knocked him out cold within 3 minutes. So the fight wasn't even close. And to be honest, I don't see why he should be rewarded. The guy acted like an absolute douche. He was a sore loser. And, you know, that's not how you get a rematch. You know, go away, beat some people, get back in the winner's circle, prove to the world that you deserve it, and I will happily beat him again. Chris Weidman should be embarrassed for himself right now. Chris Weidman is getting on like a little girl that's had his toys taken off him, and he's throwing little hissy fits, and he's saying all kinds of, you know, insulting comments towards me. This is a guy that, by the way, preaches to everybody about religion and Christianity and the Bible and things like that, but he's not acting very Christian right now. I think, here are the facts. He's saying that I'm looking for easy fights and I'm scared of him. I just knocked out cold the guy that absolutely destroyed Chris Weidman. So his logic doesn't stand up. He lost his last fight. You don't get a shot at the belt when you've just been beat. He was supposed to have a rematch against the champion. Okay, that's a little bit different. But if the champion becomes different, you can't fight that guy coming off a loss. Chris, go away, win a fight, and I will happily fight you. Oh, he's certainly a viable contender. I think for most people, he would be the rightful #1 contender. Hell of a fighter, of course. Coming off a great victory over Vitor Belfort. So, you know, he's certainly in line and certainly a viable contender, as I said. And if the UFC said that fight and they were to offer me that fight, then of course I would accept it. I've never turned down a fight in my life. His camp did, you know, throw some, well, they actually got in touch with us and spoke to us and mentioned the fight. They said, George wants to fight you. Of course, just because George wants to fight me, the UFC have to put that in place. Now, if the UFC want to do it, then I would happily do it. As of right now, I think a lot of people want to see me fight Dan Henderson again. Of course, Dan owns a knockout victory over me back in 2009, so I would love to get revenge and rectify that loss. And listen, good for him. Good for him, you know what I mean? Every time I see that logo, yeah, it's an image of him above my knocked out body. You know, it p***ing off a little bit. Of course he does. But, you know, good for him. You know, he got a good victory and he's reveling in that, so why not? But the facts of the matter are is that he was cheating at the time, but he was manipulating the system, so therefore he wasn't penalised for it. It's a good time for me right now. You know, there's some big money fights to be had. So there's more money to be made now that I'm the champion than there ever has been before. And as a fighter, listen, that's why we do it. Let's not kid ourselves. So, you know, I am going to retire pretty soon. I'm going to have a few more fights, though, and hopefully retire with the belt. But, you know, 2, maybe 3.
I've never had, you know, seen a UFC champion automatically just start calling money fights, you know, so I thought that was new. And I called him out on Fox Sports 1, and I had no idea that or expect for him to actually say that. You know, I figured him to take on all newcomers, and didn't really expect him to say, hey, nope, I'm not fighting you, I want a money fight.
He did earn the championship, and he does have kids that he has to take care of. On some level, I suppose I understand it. I guess what I'm wondering from you is, as a fighter who makes his money the same kind of way, is there some part of you that understands it?
You know what? I do understand that. You know, that's what, and you're starting to see more and more MMA fighters doing that as well. You know, it's the Conor McGregor era, and everybody, you know, who thinks they're champion or, you know, who is champion or wanting those money fights. I mean, look at Bisping. He got the fight that he wanted, which is against, you know, Dan Henderson, and he got to pick that. And, you know, Conor McGregor pretty much has picked his last few opponents, I believe. And yeah, it's just that air, man. They're doing that. But for me, I do it for the honor and the glory. So whoever is who's up next, and I believe that's Damian Maia, man. Let's do it.